So, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Hey, folks.
Tim, title this so everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
I'll
Hey,
just title
everybody.
it spoiler warning.
Sheldon broke us in, but welcome to the Liquid Courage podcast. I'm Taylor. That was Sheldon. Tim's just said words too.
Hello.
This is a very special episode. Because
That's a way to put
a
it.
very special dropped. And if you listen to our podcast, then you absolutely care. And
Came out of nowhere.
it came out and it was straight out of nowhere.
Oh my god. I'm so happy, and not to do any spoilers or anything. I'm so happy that they addressed that name in the show.
So here's how we're gonna do this. Normally we do a fun recap of everything. We're not gonna do a full recap of this because it is an hour and 18 minutes long. If you want a full recap, you're not gonna have that. It is one of those suggested watchings. We'll just kind of get that out of the way now.
Yeah, we'll do the highlights, and then at the end we will talk about the ending.
Yeah,
but we'll make sure to say there's going to be spoilers ahead, kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll have a spoiler break for I would say like
right now.
Well, I would say that the spoiler break will come in a little bit.
We're not going to talk about the ending right away.
Well, and I just think in general we're not going to talk a lot about plot points because we are, but we're not going to like hit them like we have done in the past.
Like I said, highlights, right?
This is more of a review and a discussion about our experiences with Straight Outta Nowhere, because it was new for all of us, like it will be new for you, and so because of that, it's not going to be our normal format. It's going to be more
it's going to be fun times.
Question:
free form discussion. If you are worried about spoilers, don't listen to this at all.
Go watch it now.
Yeah, please.
If you're worried about little things being spoiled, go watch it. Then come back and listen to it. If you're not worried about it, then dive in. This is your preliminary spoiler warning. We'll have a bigger one when we get towards the end. We start actually talking about like plot point, big plot point things towards the end.
And there is
now we'll
the
jump
ending. The ending is very good. I'll just say that.
It's good. Tim, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, question: at what point can Red Letter Media sue us for stealing their idea?
Never, because it's
we're not for profit.
Review.
Good. I don't know why I'm asking you. I have the media degree.
Yeah, man.
Also, I mean, it's just a format. Like,
yeah, I mean, movie reviews have been happening since movies have been.
Listen,
out.
we're the Bed Letter Media.
Nope,
and,
we can't do that.
No, we're the Courage.
Stop
media.
it.
We're the Liquid Media.
We are okay. So we just got done watching this. Before we talk about it, I think we should talk a bit about our expectations going into this, because I think us, much like a lot of the population that cares about these two franchises. By the way, we're Straight Outta Nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage, in case you were unaware.
Like that WWE meets Courage.
That was Scooby-Doo.
Was that real? Okay. I didn't know.
I'm sorry. WWE meets Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
I was expecting hot garbage.
I want to watch the other one.
To be totally honest.
So let's talk about that for a little bit before we get into talking about
WWE means Scooby-Doo.
No,
we can talk about how the Undertaker grabs
Talk about
Scooby-Doo.
our preconceived notions about this first.
Okay.
All right, gotcha.
Sheldon, would you like to go first, or I can?
Fucking Christ, man! I already pretty much put out on the table that I thought this movie was going to be a hot, steaming pile of shit. I thought this movie was going to be awful.
I thought the same thing. I thought this was just a really bad cash grab for
Courage
nostalgia.
is coming back.
And
yeah.
And Dilworth's not involved.
It doesn't appear that he is. We should clarify that. It doesn't appear that he is involved.
From what
characters created by.
Yeah, from the title sequence and from what I know from behind the scenes and articles and all that other crap, Dilworth had very little involved in this because remember, Cartoon Network and Warner Media still owns Courage the Cowardly Dog as a intellectual property. So that means they can kind of do whatever they want. Like if Cartoon Network or Warner wanted to make a Smash Brothers type game, which they have in the past, they could use Courage in that still because they still own the rights to Courage. But
listen, Dilworth, you're really pulling a Sapkowski here.
Warner is so weird too because they try to be like not evil, which is the weirdest thing to say because they're definitely
from a corporation.
They're definitely like the top of the corporation is not as great as the middle part, which is Adult Swim. But Dilworth has made like Courage movies recently and put them in film festivals and shit like that. So like they're not angry at Dilworth at any point. They just wanted to take the property to another place.
Dilworth himself has tweeted, which is a fun statement to say now, that he is not involved with this project at all.
Yeah, did he tweet that at us?
No.
I don't want to feel like I tweeted at him.
Ever since you wouldn't agree to meet him in a back alley, Tim,
we don't want to talk
to you.
We don't want to talk about it. That's going to get us in trouble.
He tweeted it when the information was leaked, and he has no involvement. And I guess that is kind of one of those things where when we're talking about preconceived notions, I assumed that this was going to be just like another Scooby-Doo crossover that kind of sucks and isn't that great, because a lot of the Scooby-Doo crossovers in recent years have been lackluster.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
We can't see it because John Cena's there.
Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
I was a little worried about it. I was worried about animation styles, and I was worried about voice actors returning, and I will say this is the last performance of Thea White as Muriel, so that it is a nice swan song, I would say, for her in the series. It's R.I.P. in peace.
I know. It's fucking.
Get the fuck out of here.
But it is one of those things where I think going into this, I think all of us were like, we're gonna watch this. It'll be a great fucking one-off episode to just kind of be shitbirds.
Yeah,
just drink shit on it a bit.
Yeah.
It's the only time we can be topical. Because it's the only topical episode that's come out in the last 10 to 15 years.
And we're still behind.
Yeah, arguably we're still 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
still,
I don't know. I was ready for garbage.
As was everyone, I think.
Yeah. I was ready for garbage. What do you think, Tim? Were you ready for garbage, or did you think this was going to be good, or what was your notion here?
So originally, I thought it was going to be garbage as well, because obviously, just my thoughts were straight out of nowhere. I was like,
straight out of nowhere. What a fucking title, eh?
Not a good name, because NWA really is not a marketable thing.
Straight out of nowhere, crazy motherfucker named Courage.
Straight out of nowhere.
And so I'm on all these Courage Facebook pages and shit like that, which is what I pay attention to
because I have a problem.
Right. Well, no, I like to stay connected, because if we're going to be the experts, we should be the expert.
God, what a silly
Courage book.
I mean, we could write one. Let's not get there until we get to the fourth season. But after seeing some of their reviews, I was curious. So the only thing I saw before going into this, because I know you motherfuckers are going to bring it up, was the one scene where they drive up with the croquet mallet, which was a trailer. And then
I only watched trailers. I didn't go any deeper.
I didn't watch
Taylor,
anything
I owe
else.
you $5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys thought I watched it, didn't you?
But I was fighting for you, Tim.
Yeah.
Were you?
Why do you think I was so angry?
Yeah,
I can't believe you watched it as he screams at me in the middle of us. I don't know, man. I was wrong. As we said before, this we started recording here. I had 3 predictions during the episode, and only one of them came true, technically.
Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't that true.
Yeah.
How do you hide a lie?
He didn't watch it. He only watched the trailers and read reviews.
If I really wanted to lie to you, I would have. I wouldn't have had predictions at all, right? Like
I do like that you're like. So I was reading reviews. And I'm like, well, come on, that's dirty pool.
Come on, they're just posting on those pages.
I know.
There's a Scooby gummy hidden in this bag.
Oh, there you go. It's a sign.
We should point out that Sheldon this whole time was eating these Scooby-Doo fruit snacks.
Yeah, you know, he was because that's the only branded snack that exists for this cartoon. No, they have honestly they have Scooby snacks. They have Scooby graham crackers too.
I didn't know we were watching this movie until
I know
until you got here. Yeah.
Well, and that was the other thing is I sprung this on the boys because I said we should do that, and then I didn't confirm that we're doing that when we started recording because I went, no, I'm gonna see if we can do that, and then I sat down, and it was like I sat down in the chair to record, and I went, yeah, we're doing it, and I didn't care. You could have said, I think should do an episode, and I'd go, no, I don't think so.
And then we showed up, and hey, the movie credits are early. We're like, wait a minute.
Wait, this is not the next Courage episode. Scooby-Doo.
Joke's on you. It's the latest. But it. Yeah, I think I would argue that I think most of our preconceived notions was that it was going to be
hot garbage.
I would maybe not hot garbage, but at the very least I thought
even worse, stale garbage.
I think we probably assumed that it'd be campy and not in a fun way, but in kind of a shitty way.
Yeah, we thought it would be more Scooby-Doo than Courage.
Yeah, we'd be bored watching a nostalgic cash grab that watered down Courage to make it work in the Scooby-Doo universe. And I will say that it's the art style for Scooby-Doo that came out of like Mystery Inc., which is I like that art style.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
So
this is more what's
to be totally honest, is this completely like that art style, or is this more like a mixed? Because it seems like it's more like that art style plus
I'd say it's more What's New Scooby-Doo, but there's definitely
it's a lot of the line work is cleaner than What's New Scooby-Doo. But it is very similar in some of the beats on it.
Yeah,
but the humor is very Mystery Inc.
The humor is great,
in my opinion.
It worked very well, actually, somehow.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that this is I was surprised. I assumed that this was going to be straight up camp and not like a very fun watch, just straight up kind of campy.
It was mostly bullshit. Okay,
and yeah, it's kind of where I was at, and
pretty good.
I think I was pleasantly surprised by the beats, the storytelling beats in it.
I'm gonna watch this again.
Yeah,
it was that good that you could watch it another time and get the same amount of enjoyment. And not to jump ahead or anything, but I think there was enough in there. If you were both a Scooby-Doo fan and a Courage fan, you'd find something in every part that you may have missed or things like that.
Yeah, and I think we have obviously a very Courage-centric podcast. So
no, you don't say.
People who listen to us, I mean, I'm not saying you don't like Scooby-Doo.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards Scooby-Doo these past few episodes.
I always thought Courage was a superior Scooby-Doo, but
what I'm saying is that I think that this does a really good job of hitting both stories.
Yeah.
Of hitting both ideas of like what you want out of this series, right?
I was surprised that they didn't step on each other's toes as much as I thought they would.
Yeah, they work very well together, and I was surprised by this.
It shouldn't have fucking worked. It just shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, like I said when we were watching it, so after the first 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm not trying to jump ahead or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Usually use the first 10 minutes of a script as a proof of concept, which means that, like, we're going to animate this and put the full effect on this for the first 10 minutes. It's almost like a pilot.
See if the audience likes it.
Well, to see if it's worth doing. Because if we do the first 10 minutes, and the first 10 minutes are done if we want to animate the rest, and if we don't want to do it, then we only animated 10 minutes. We're not out the other 50 minutes, right?
And we open with I think they open it well with opening it with the Scooby Gang first.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I think that's we established that art style and the it's almost a MacGuffin of like what's happening.
It is, yeah. 100%.
And then we get Scooby hearing the fucking courage shit, and then we're like
and then the world happens.
Yeah, do we want to say that this? Do we want to actually start jumping into the story beats right here? Then
I think
we gave the warning, right?
Yeah, we did. I just want to make sure.
Give me just a little bit here.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Get your point across. I just want to make
vamp.
Sure.
I just want it to be said that I don't know who the audience for this is actually. I don't know if it is
it's us.
An actual yeah, but that's what I mean. Like can we say definitively that this is a movie for fans of both of the cartoon series as they appeared in the 2000s? Or is this supposed to be a cartoon? Or is this supposed to be a series that makes kids want to watch these series?
So that's a really good question, because newer Scooby-Doo is more self-aware. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the gifs, like some of the memes that have come out from new Scooby-Doo is like, oh, you
started doing that.
You got rid of all of our luggage. Too. What are you gonna do? And he goes, we wear the same shirt. We wear the same stuff every day, which is like a joke, but it's something that they put into new Scooby-Doo. So now it's like,
God, that's like an old new Scooby-Doo too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight you and say, no, this is for old. This is for old fans. It's obviously.
Well, that's where I'm at, right? Where it's like, if and we're gonna talk about the references that are in it because there's about 1 million.
Oh my God, there's so many.
So many.
You're not wrong. Even the ending is.
There wasn't a scene where we weren't going, "Hey, it's the thing."
I will tell you that I think this is a series, because like. Fucking full disclosure, I'm almost 30. I think this is a crossover that is designed to go, oh, I remember Courage. I like Scooby-Doo, and I'm an older fan. I want to get that so I can watch that and
want to get those endorphins flowing through my brain again.
I need that serotonin hit. And if I have kids, it's something I can also watch with my kids because I know that both of these series are going to be good. You know, and I think I do believe that there is too much reference for it to be just for new fans.
Yeah,
Courage. We can bank on that.
You're right.
We definitely can.
Well, I think one of the big things that's been happening, and not just Cartoon Network, but Nickelodeon, and everyone else has been making cartoons, or like even Comedy Central.
Well, I mean,
has tried to fall back on nostalgia, especially during the pandemic, where they can't.
Fucking Rocko's Modern Life got a special.
Yeah, right. Like.
And I love Rocco's, but I went, hey guys, the fuck? I'm waiting for the Angry Beavers to come back.
That would be awesome. That would be... Because both those voice actors are still
Invader
around.
Zim had a fucking special too.
Yep. So. And also his voice is being used in everything else, like Has Been Hotel and like...
Psychonauts too.
Yeah, Psychonauts. He's in there.
Well, he was in Psychonauts 1.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but surprising.
No, but...
Yeah,
And I think... We're a little bit in now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are we?
We gave you enough warning time.
Well,
we can start talking.
I just want to know, like, we're what? Tim, what is our actual recording point here?
We're at 20 minutes in our recording. So minus 2 minutes from that, at least 18 minutes, because I might cut off the beginning. But
plenty of
time.
I just want it to be known at like 20 minutes, spoilers will happen for the story from here on out.
So jump out.
If you're listening to this and you've got to this point, it is spoiler time. If you don't want to be spoiled, go watch it and come back to us.
Please go watch it.
It is spoiler time. I am going to acknowledge the cast here: Frank Weller, Gray Griffin, Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, Kate McCucci as Velma, just fucking great. Marty Grabstein, Jeff Bergman, and Thea White all do a phenomenal job. Voice acting is top fucking tier.
Yeah.
Music top tier, writing fucking top tier, and yeah.
Can I say before anything else, just one more jab at those Facebook groups I'm in.
Jab.
Marty Grabstein actually posted straight to those Facebook groups saying, "Hey, if you're a Courage fan, this is going to be something you'd like."
Yep.
And he didn't hold back. He's like, "Listen, I'm not trying to advertise. I'm not trying to do any of that." He just put out there's like, "I'm doing the voice of Courage, and I think this is good." And he put it in those groups, and people really enjoyed it. It was a really good touch. So, hats off to you, Marty, if anything. Good job, now we're at 22 minutes, so it should be 20 minutes straight to get to
That's great. It's spoiler time. Go fucking watch
Courage
it.
hears the theme song.
He screams loud and kills them.
And he does a weird humping dance.
Well, okay. So I again don't want to hit this as like we do our episode. I want to talk about
just some highlights. Yeah.
It's good.
It's good from start to finish. It's really good. Wow.
It's just fucking good. I actually teared up at nostalgia for a second there.
I think the best way to start is just talking about how both these teams met. And it's not really giving away too much of the story, because I know that's not what we want to do here. Just how Scooby and the gang got to nowhere was kind of weird.
So the opening is Scooby-Doo, like we said, in which they're catching a bank robbing clown, as they do.
It's perfect. It's a really good opening.
And they unmask him, and
a bank robbing clown. You say
the bank manager. Oh
no!
Don't be dumb.
Yes. And they catch him, and they're unmasking him, and as they're unmasking him, a terrible sound plague hits Scoob, and that leads them to chase him down and try to save him. And
by the way, they leave the clown who was robbing the bank at the bank, and he goes, "Fucking score," and grabs the money and runs.
That's so very funny to me that they're like that. He's like, this worked out worked out very well for me.
What is it that Daphne says?
Go family emergency.
It's a family emergency. No. You understand, right? He goes, "Completely," and they run away.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I like the difference between nowhere people and everyone else.
Coolsville is an interesting place, and so
they have that nowhere look.
Yeah,
scales and gray skin.
And we have a whole bunch of fun clashing of animation too.
I was gonna say, do we want to talk about how at first the animation did not?
The animation did not help.
That's why I think the first 10 to 15 minutes before the actual open title sequence happens is like a proof of concept. Because I think they made that and said, listen, they presented it to the heads of Warner.
Hold up. I know you're turning off the TV right now. Please keep watching.
Yeah, I mean, that's not unusual for you to make the first part of a show and be like, hey, listen, this is what we made. What do you think? And if the heads of the network, or at this point, I don't know I don't know who works at media at this point, because Warner Media has gone through so many different hands at this point. At some point they were like, yeah, Courage and Scooby-Doo, that could probably work. And they watched the first 10 minutes and were like, yeah, let's throw that into full production. So they put more money behind it. And then after that, I think the animation actually syncs up better.
Well, I think that I don't necessarily... So what we're talking about is when Courage and Scooby meet at nowhere. Clearly, this is not original Courage animation. It's been almost 16 years, something like that.
The amount of time that Locust stay in the ground,
yeah, and so we have Courage being... It's weird because like the first thing we see is I think Sheldon was like, is this Flash? Like, what the fuck when it comes to Courage?
It was weird.
But as
I was pretty upset.
As we kind of see it like as we see it kind of meld, it works. There are times where like you watch it and very clearly the animation behind Courage is not 100% the original animation.
Not
like
at all.
The animation style, his eyes are a little funky. He's a little too cartoony compared to like Scooby-Doo, which is a weird statement to make.
Right.
But like he's just a little more animated cartoon than Scooby-Doo is.
I thought you were gonna say just a little more
anime. He's a Hokage.
His parents are dead. Actually, they are.
No. Man,
we don't know yet. Yeah, we haven't got to that.
But and like even Eustace and Muriel are a little weird compared to the gang because the gang is very
shading.
Yeah, it's really shading. But as it continues, your brain gets used to it and it works better and better for you. And so if you're a little jarred, I'm promising you, just
bear with it.
Keep going.
Yeah. After I would say after the title sequence, things get so much better.
Yeah, and the music in this is fucking great, which we'll talk about. I want to talk about that a little bit later. But
yeah, the audio sync in general is really good. Like just them talking back and forth and all that. It's really good. They definitely brought their A game, whoever they brought in to do the production of this. Like, it was really good. So.
Oh yeah, and it's and when the gang and Courage and the Bags meet, it's immediately like they acknowledge the weirdness. And sometimes that's
weird. Strange things happen in nowhere.
Yeah, and like sometimes like that sucks shit when you're like, oh, they're fucking breaking this wall, but it just works
because they've always said strange things happen in nowhere.
Yeah, somehow with Scooby-Doo, they were like, this is more strange than what we've seen. Like, well, I mean, haven't you guys seen like murders and shit?
Well, and that's the other thing we talked about was that like there is a weird disconnect because Courage's shit's all real.
Yeah.
And
shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's
canonically,
still that. Yeah.
The Scooby-Doo verse that we're dealing with, the real stuff isn't necessarily there all the time. It's very
There wasn't a lot of real shit. It just happened as a big reveal in the end, really.
So, yeah, I still have a question then for you guys. We can ask it now. The theory that this is all in Courage's eyesight as he is a dog, right? Like,
I don't know if we can say that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think this plays towards that, does it?
It has been fully actualized that these things are real and are happening. Cats, LeQuack, all the people. We see through the movie. You just see pictures and references of every villain.
Yep.
Every villain.
Yep. And it's basically it's literally in a museum. It's not basically.
It's literally a museum. It is literally a museum.
Look at all this weird shit happening in nowhere.
Yeah, okay.
Scenes that Courage aren't even in.
Yep.
We don't even know about Courage. Why is he in this library? It doesn't matter.
Yep. And so, yeah, that idea that it's all in his head is completely bunked by this. And I don't think that the people that want to make that shit happen can say, well, this is not canonical, can say that because it's Courage.
Yeah.
Like it is the newest Courage thing we have. It has to be canonical.
And it's actually more like it plays more towards the canon than literally anything else that we've seen, right? Like it's showing like, listen, all these past events that happened, which somehow happened in the first 2 seasons of the show. We should point out.
There was some shit from later, but it was mostly obscure, more obscure like screenshots.
One or two things, right?
And I think that's probably purposeful because I don't think that the people that were making it were like, let's pull this deep cut from season 3.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It references season 3, and so therefore it's part of the season 3 canon. And don't you dare fucking tell me otherwise.
And that's a good point too, because like Katz is a recurring villain.
Yep. And Quack is a recurring villain.
Quack is like Shirley is a recurring person in the show. Like
I wish Shirley would have shown up.
That would have been good, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Shirley would have been great.
That is
fucking.
whatever.
I was gonna say Velvet.
We're in spoiler cast now. I was gonna
say Velvet Vic, but he fucking did show up. Basically,
Velvet Vic shows up.
Yeah,
he's in there.
We want to talk about so a story beat that gets them to the next part is that they're all hanging out at the bag house because Scooby-Doo met Courage through this hypnotic signal that's been sent out.
Yeah, this hypnotic butt dance, and also. Muriel loves cooking for people, so she's like, come inside and have my Scottish cookies, which is not a euphemism.
Somehow. But I think...
Was it not?
I mean, she made more, don't worry. She made like 3 batches, which is weird. For only 3 people, do you need 3 batches of cookies?
Yeah.
But
listen, man, sometimes the recipe calls for like 3 bags of flour, and you don't know how to shrink it down, so you just do your best.
Just do it. You just gotta keep cracking them eggs.
Yeah, and she does do cooking for like counting fairs and shit like that, so it's not too out of the bag.
Yeah.
One of the big things is that at the front door, suddenly there was a knock and then a letter saying, hey, you're all invited to go to the mayor's house.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
Also, fucking cicadas, huh?
Plot hole.
We should talk about cicadas, because I don't think we've talked about them yet either.
Who invited them?
No, we don't know.
And the mayor doesn't know either.
I mean, theoretically...
No, the mayor was like, this is authentic, but I didn't do it.
Well, and I have a feeling that it was.
It might have been the government.
I think it was the mayor.
Oh, it was.
I think it was the mayor, because even at the end of the movie, and again, we're in spoiler territory, so this is your own fault. The revealed villains talk about how they're like, well, we had to deal with we had to deal with the ever changing issue of now we have meddling kids here.
Yeah.
So I think he was just playing it up like, oh, I didn't invite you, but stay for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
the car chase.
The villain is cicadas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
13 years later, motherfuckers.
The cicada is the MacGuffin, I guess. Actually, the cicadas are unwilling participants.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it.
Well,
most of them are unwilling participants.
Yeah, there's the one, but we find out that wasn't a real cicada,
Yeah, I mean it's very much just like a I don't know what's the best way to put this. Like a needed villain, like it's almost like the cockroach.
It's a Scooby-Doo plot, man. Like,
you want to know who made this movie? You don't want to know who made this movie.
Oh, I know who made this movie. Matthew Lillard's in it, so Warner made this movie for sure.
Like it's a it's a full Scooby-Doo plot actualized with courage in it.
Yeah, and it works surprisingly well somehow.
And it works too well.
Well, and that's the thing, though, is that even with it being actualized as a Scooby-Doo plot, when you have the reveal, it's still courage. Like, those are still shitheads and courage.
Yep.
And so, yeah, when we talk about it, like, and we're going to jump around. You're in spoiler cast, so you probably watched it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm not following a timeline. Are you kidding me?
So, like, we have that sick car chase that showed up in a lot of trailers. We also have, in that car chase, we find out that, Daphne's just tricked out the van.
Yeah, she put Turbo.
She has rights to the van now. It turns out Freddie and Daphne are married.
Turbo. She put grappling hooks, anchors,
nitro.
Also, that's when the cicada legitimately tries to murder the two dogs.
Actually, he seems to murder the other people more than he does the two dogs. As long as the two dogs don't get in the way, fuck them.
Yeah, he does try to run them off the road too.
That's
also,
a good point,
also that is all the time in which like we deal with what the fuck happened. That's the first
valley of
that's also the first big joke, though. Like, that's the first big chuckle we had was when the truck gets destroyed and it goes down the pinball machine, fucking rocks, and Shaggy goes, "Hey man, like your car's it's probably fine," and then it gets impaled, and then he goes, "It's still mostly okay," and then it explodes, and we fucking died.
These guys can fucking just speak for me. I literally was fucking just laughing.
That was so funny.
Yeah, and that's where I gotta say, like, no matter what bullshit they were trying to do with nostalgia, as long as the writing is fine,
there's real jokes here.
Writing is really good in this.
It's pretty good. Like, probably better than it should have been, to be totally honest, for something like this. So
turns out Dilworth was secretly writing on this.
I don't know about that.
I don't think, but that's the thing. Like, Dilworth didn't end up writing a lot in the later seasons.
He just created the characters,
like Stephen Cohen.
Yeah, I feel like if Dilworth was a part of this, somebody would have been standing there at the edge of the cliff with a rocket launcher and shot a rocket down to the car, and then laughed and ran off screen. Yeah, exactly. That's what would happen if Dilworth was writing. Which, to be totally honest, just as funny in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's really good. I unironically say that with this.
It's all your fucking kid's fault.
Jesus.
I think the ending point out of all of this is that it was pretty good writing at the end of all of it, no matter what happens.
No matter what happens, it was good. Go watch it yourself.
Yeah,
it is good. The person who has the writing credit is a guy named Michael Ryan.
Oh, that's a good name.
Michael Ryan, who won at least or has had 2 Emmy nominations and 1 Emmy award for writing.
Oh,
wow!
There you go.
He got an award. Jesus,
he actually got
he is known currently for writing Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, which is
it's like, is that a fucking Guess Who crossover?
No, it is
the
current Scooby-Doo and Mystery Inc. gang solve more mysteries together each time with a different living, late, or fictional celebrity guest.
Okay.
Wait, what?
It's a series of crossovers.
Holy shit! Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it is a series. He has written the Kung Fu Panda Paws of Destiny TV series.
Oh no!
Well, he has to make money.
He has
I'm gonna tell you. Guess who's not the animation?
Transformer Robots in Disguise. At least 7 episodes.
Oh, only 7.
He wrote he was in, or he at least helped write the Scooby-Doo WrestleMania mystery.
Please don't say that.
He is the head. I think he's the head writer for Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
I mean, that makes sense at this point. I mean, like, Scooby-Doo is still a treasured franchise, right? Even if they have some bad stuff here and there.
Yeah, it's fucking everywhere, man.
It's old.
Somebody help me out here.
Dude, it came out forever and a day ago.
I know it was way before I was alive, but
Michael Ryan wrote 20 episodes of Scooby-Doo or Mystery Incorporated, so that's probably what he's most known for. But like, it is so like that was a good beat. When they get to the
mansion,
the mansion, you had really good beats.
I'm the mayor, you know.
That's also when we watch them almost get murdered by chairs. And that doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
It didn't matter the whole thing.
Which is great because, well, you know what it establishes? It again establishes that, hey creepy, because he literally says creepy stuff happens in nowhere.
Yep.
For no shit and no reason.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry about those chairs. Weird stuff happens in nowhere.
And then we all drink.
I did. I definitely drank.
And and he said the line. He said the line.
We should. Yeah.
No.
Also, there was a time in which Scooby and Courage were attacked by a hairball monster in the kitchen that we glossed over and just totally fucking forgot about.
It's like it's weird. But it's not the weirdest thing we've seen.
It was almost like the guy from Freaky Fred, but not. And it was more of a monster, right?
Just a trim, partner.
Yeah. Like that was the guy. It looked like that guy, but it was a monster, so they had to push him back down the drain to nothing. He's gone. He's dead.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
We don't have to move on.
Now,
yeah, and
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say the most notable out of the mansion people. So there's the mayor, and then the servant.
Yes, there's the butler / assistant / the Glockenspiels. Also, Shaggy. Can we talk about the fact that Shaggy just makes fun of what we think is a disabled man's walk, and we're just like. And he gets immediate comeuppance.
Yeah. He literally was like...
everybody laughs.
What does he say? If I could walk like that, I'd never have to buy a Halloween costume again?
Yeah.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, little bastard. Fuck Matthew.
What the fuck, dude? You know what cancel means.
And and like then we've got the fucking very funny and definitely pick upable reference to Young Frankenstein about his wife, the butler's wife, Frau Glockenspiel.
And every time they say her name,
they liked Young Frankenstein, right?
Yes, they know that movie.
Probably, actually.
But like we have. We got them. They're very, very funny. Again, another kind of like they're creepy, and it's the butler. I bet it's the butler.
It was the butler that did it, and he did it with the candlestick.
Mm-hmm.
I know he did.
That was my other thing. I thought it was going to be a clue thing for the rest of the movie, but it was not. It definitely was not.
Nope.
No.
No, it just happened.
The cicadas.
It's actually the cicadas.
I think the big plot point for the mansion was that when they split up, right? So
that's fucking classic Scoob, man.
Yeah, like so they if you don't mind me explaining it.
No, go ahead, bud.
Okay. They all sit down for dinner because the mayor's like, well, I guess whatever. If you're here, we might as well have you for dinner.
Yeah,
it's just
have
bread.
You for dinner.
Yeah.
That was the thing, and it was bread and water because the Glockenspiels used to cook for prisons.
Yeah, which is horrible.
Which is just such a silly statement. They used to cook for prison, so that's all they make.
Bread.
And also, now that we know what happens at the end of the movie, hey, I have a question. Why didn't he fire him?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, does the mayor actually eat that much? This is something for later in the movie, I guess.
Because let's face it, cheap help is hard to find.
Arguably, the mayor would eat for 2.
That's a good point. We're not there yet. So,
well, it makes sense that it's bread, right?
Is this also a good point? Jesus. Is this also a good point to point out that Daphne, in the most updated version of Mystery Inc., has a iPad that she uses like
not Daphne, Velma.
Velma. Sorry, Velma.
Come on,
she's the smart one.
Yeah.
We've been drinking. This is the Liquid Courage podcast.
No, but I think that does make sense, though. I think that's... Well, have you watched Mystery Incorporated?
No, I've not.
Oh, it's fucking great.
You need to watch that one.
I heard it's pretty good, yeah.
It's really good, and
Sorry, still dying.
That is incorporated into Mystery Inc. like pretty heavily. Like technology is incorporated very heavily in Mystery Inc. And I really like that because it modernizes it.
Yeah, it makes more sense, right? Like they don't have to. Yeah. They don't have to look modern as long as they're still appropriating like cell phones. They have
modern ideals.
Yeah,
like that bitch dying.
But like it's very funny to me because we have these references. Like the gang splits up. Half of them go to the museum. We get the reporter in the museum, which is great.
Oh yeah, we do get the reporter from the original series.
Yeah, and we get creepy stuff happens in nowhere, and then he just does a fucking clip show of all of the villains.
Hey, you remember this guy?
Yeah.
What about this guy?
Remember this guy? Here's the fucking Vic record that only Eustace and Shirley had.
This is the biggest nostalgia moment of the whole thing. Is that this museum has all these artifacts.
Here's King Ramses' tablet.
Walking robot.
Here's the deer. Here's a snowman picture.
They even have the mask from the season 4 of the cat and the fox. Yep. Or bunny, sorry, cat and the bunny.
Yeah, they have all of it, and it's so funny because it's like, oh. So that just means that all that's real.
Yeah, it solidifies
that's all real because the kids, the Mystery Inc. sees it too, so it's all real. Also, there's a very cute running gag in which Muriel keeps asking them riddles because she thinks those are mysteries.
I mean, what is a riddle if not a little mystery, right?
And Velma can't figure them out, and she gets really mad.
Wasn't that,
I think Velma's more mad about the situation she's in. She's just like, fucking Christ, clues don't make sense.
Yeah, the clues, and that was funny, is that the clues don't make sense, but then also they do, because she figures it out all at the end, but then says the clues don't make sense, which doesn't make any sense, but it's fine. I'll let it pass.
All things happen in nowhere.
All things happen in nowhere. You get the Eustace and the boys, i.e. Shaggy and the dogs, go to the kitchen
for real food,
to make a sandwich. We have bad fart jokes, which is why I'm like, what is the audience?
That was the worst. If I can say out of anything, the fart jokes were the most out of place and the worst things.
It felt weird, right?
Man, I had a thought, but it's all gone now.
Yeah.
It's
all consumed by the one thing that you all know that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting there.
It's out of nowhere.
I did find it weird that they added those fart jokes and then did a callback back to fart jokes.
They did, they did it again. Yep, you're right.
You set it up, you seed it down the line. That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's just weird. And
then stupid,
then you've got a big Scooby-Doo chase scene in the
multiple doors.
Is it a Scooby-Doo chase scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the stereotypical Scooby-Doo scene where they have
the Scooby-Doo scene. You got the hallway with 6 doors and you keep coming in and out of different doors.
And as you run out, different things run into to make it kind of funny. That was the 60s,
so crazy.
70s
and
humor.
And Strawberry Alarm Clock plays. It's a fun time.
Yep. All the tropes.
Incense and peppermints. Da 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 da. Yeah.
All the tropes that you love were here for both shows, which is crazy.
But we also have like we have the Scooby Doo and a little bit of Courage, because Courage drew inspiration from Scooby Doo. The like trying to trick the monster into doing the other
fumigation.
thing.
Yeah, so
that was a fun. That was
hey, first day on the job.
That was actually really good. I liked that one,
and it went longer than I thought it would too. To be totally honest, because usually in Scooby Doo it only lasts for like maybe 30 seconds, and then he goes, "Wait a minute, what the hell am I doing?"
Wait a minute, looking at the end of this movie compared to that moment,
yeah,
right. And like you had the false wall opening up, and then the other half of the gang finding the MacGuffin.
Hey, wait a minute, we're all. I can't.
Well, they find the robocollar,
which is hypnotizing
you have
people. Yeah.
Scooby Doo and the boys falling through a floor, and like, hey, guess what? Nowhere's weird. I love that that's hammered home like 6 times.
Listen, things don't have to make sense here. Nowhere's weird.
all they're saying is like, listen, this is a cartoon. Please just stay with us for a little bit
Listen,
longer.
Mr. Kids,
and again,
you need to get this through your head.
Well, that's that. I feel like that was almost hitting at the audience a little bit, because like the audience of Scooby Doo, like that's kind of the big argument of like old school.
And
Scooby-Doo.
let's see who this bad guy
has always been
is.
Like, the monsters aren't real. They're always like people, and it's like,
except for the weird ghoul school.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What do you mean? No, they're canonical in my heart.
What about ghoul school? Ghoul school.
Arguably, like the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo should be more canonical, because Vincent Price,
that's right,
the fake Vincent Van Gogh, shows up in Mystery Incorporated.
And don't they have
I forgot
Three
about
Stooges
that
as ghosts too when they were all dead?
Well, they were not.
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
And one weird skeleton man, but we don't talk about him.
The Three Stooges were still alive, but they were very much an allegory of the Boo Brothers were an allegory of Stooges. Also, I love that movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good movie, but do you call that living?
I prefer the reluctant werewolf.
Wow, we all three covered all of the Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy Doo movies.
What about the one where they fuck aliens?
There's only 3 Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy Doo movies. That's part of the Cyber Chase series.
That's right. And Cyber Chase is a really good one too.
Cyber Chase is the worst
Those
one.
Are the 2000s. Those are the 2000s.
It's so bad. It's good.
There's the Zombie Island, the Witch's Ghost, and then the one no one cares about.
Which is
you know what? That one can just fuck off.
That's the alien one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
What about the Dracula vampire Australia
that's a good one. Yeah.
What is that one?
Is that Ghoul School?
It's Curse of some weird mountain, and it came out in like 2000.
Curse of Witch Mountain? Disney Channel?
No, that's the one where the alien children
where the Rock's there.
Something tells me that Disney does not cross over Warner ever.
They try their best, damn it.
But I'm waiting for the Courage. Fucking was the shark that solves mysteries? That one.
Fucking I don't remember what that one's called.
I don't know, but anyway.
Josie and the Pussycats?
No, that's the other one. But anyway, we have I think we blend these two stories really well, because we have the gang trying to solve the mystery and Courage just being like, no, it's just fucking weird here, guys.
Just trying to get out of this situation.
He just wants to save Muriel.
Yeah.
And we have, so they crash through that ceiling part. And as that happens,
the weird computer thing.
Well, yeah, as that happens, we cut back to the farm where Sheldon's favorite scene happens. Go ahead. Tell him what happens, Sheldon.
No.
What happens back at the farm where all of these people who are getting robocalled start bringing their wealth?
What's going on there?
Eustace keeps collecting the wealth. And then a rap scene happens.
Yeah, the one thing that ties into the actual
out of nowhere.
Literally.
Eustace raps, which is probably the weirdest thing in the whole movie. With a movie full of fucking...
I love it so much.
There's actual monsters, and that's the weirdest part.
It's the reason why I'm buying the film.
Yeah,
it's on my quick buy. It's already there in the
so good.
I know what I said earlier about there being a proof of concept for the script, but honestly, I think someone wrote that rap before the script happened,
and they're like, "It's got to be here."
This is how we're gonna make this,
dude. I don't know, dude, because I'm a well-to-do dude. A 1% freaking nightmare, like a bank tycoon or the president. See if I care, because I got more green than a tree, yo. Like a cash machine or a casino. I'm a VIP taking charge, living large with the bourgeoisie out of nowhere. All I hear is ka-ching when the doorbell rings. Walking on air. I got everything and the world on a string, plus a sweet chair.
So hold on. Can we say what's more cringe? Taylor reading the rap lyrics like that, or me reading trivia off the fandom?
Trivia.
You stop.
Oh my god! It
keeps going.
Maybe Rasta braids and the prescription shades.
Rasta
some mad
braids?
Yeah,
flair.
he had that in the show. He had the Rasta braids. Like
all my bills are paid. It's all ka-ching in spades. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
And the joke is supposed to be that he's getting this money out of nowhere.
So fucking good.
Stop reading trivia, Tim. We don't care.
I'm not reading trivia. Damn it.
It's so good, guys.
It's literally out of nowhere. He thinks he's getting money out of nowhere.
I have never been happy. No, he is getting money out of nowhere because these people keep showing up and tossing him jewels.
Yeah.
Let me hang the noose up.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Also, I want you to know that this write-up of the lyrics is not on the Courage wiki.
It's on the Scooby-Doo.
Nope, it's on the, quote, Villain Songs fandom.
I'm sorry?
The Villain
There's a whole other fandom I can read
from?
The Villain Song fandom is so specific.
And it has popular pages like Decay Incantation, the Sex Offender Shuffle, and Boogies, Bunts, and Beans.
No, go back. What?
The Sex Offender Shuffle.
What is that from?
It's a very silly
Sex Offender Shuffle.
You guys have never seen the YouTube video of the Sex Offender Shuffle?
No.
I
haven't.
It's a silly video. It was.
Let me tell you.
It was a joke.
I'm glad I haven't.
just the name Sex Offender Shuffle.
Welcome to the Sex Offender Shuffle. What's your offense?
It's not gonna be great.
No,
let me tell you, it's probably the same as everyone else's.
Sex offense. But anyway, it's amazing. Eustace raps. I never thought I'd see the day.
That is probably. I said
also straight out of nowhere fandom is on the Scooby-Doo one. It's not on the
Yep,
one.
I've downloaded the song and it's the only thing on my iPod.
Also, it's on the Courage fandom, and that's where the trivia is. But if we get to that point, I'm not going to read all of them because they're stupid.
I will kick you in the throat.
Yeah, probably.
I will leave.
We'll talk about it later because this is one of those things where like the Courage aspect of this is only references.
Yeah,
like
that's a lot of references.
Like the Courage it is a completely actualized news story, but the amount of pictures, the amount of callbacks is reference. You know?
Yeah, the whole point was to bring Courage back up again and see who likes it. I mean,
It's great. And
for
so
us, perfect.
Well, okay, so story beat wise, the fucking Eustace rap is amazing. While that's happening, the crew has gotten out of this terrible basement and have now walked into a cornfield where they get beset on all sides by flying cicada.
Yeah.
And get taken away. And so Courage and Scooby are left to get to the farmhouse because Velma said they have to finish it. And Shaggy does a really good inspirational speech that I'm not going to care about. Yeah. Though it does come back later. And that's also when we get the next scene of the computer and Velma's tablet just getting it on.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Connect me.
I mean,
you can even see Scooby and Courage just like, okay, get the fuck to the point, please.
Yeah.
Like, and essentially they figure out they got to dig down because a meteor hit the farm at some point, and a black matter, like a dark matter ball, is underneath the farmhouse, causing all of this weirdness. And also, this might have the scariest fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog scene in it.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Taylor? I have no idea.
You guys remember? There's a really fun part where they're in the cave. They've dug down into this cave, and there's this music playing. There's a really good country folk weird song playing. And
yes, yeah.
Courage and Scoobert run into and find all of their friends strung up with goo, and they are macabrely like being puppeted. And it's terrifying. And then it's fine because Courage realizes it's Mariel, and Scooby realizes it's his buddies.
Oh, it's not evil at all.
And I will tell you, that happens in like a 10-minute span. That's a 10-minute span of the movie, guys. I'm currently looking at it. That is a 10-minute span from computer to digging to macabre dancing. That is a 10-minute span.
Right.
The last quarter of this movie, so fast.
It is. You're right.
It all happens very quickly.
That again, great music. We have fun things that happen. Everyone turns into weird things. Everywhere is nowhere.
And nowhere?
The opposite of fear is fun.
I don't agree with that statement. I've never agreed with that statement.
Yep. And Courage has an inspirational moment at the end with the gang being trapped. They can't help him now. And we have a fucking kaiju battle.
We do. And that's the best part.
Press triangle for fire breath.
We have a kaiju battle, and that fucking busted my brain because I was like, they're not going to do a kaiju battle.
And yet.
And then they did a kaiju battle.
I remember you saying, it's like, wait, is he going to grab that and become... Is this a kaiju battle?
Is this...
And I was like, I don't think so. And then it happened.
Yeah,
like, God,
because cicada get big. Cicada get big. And so Courage is like, I gotta take out a cicada. And I was like,
I gotta get big too, says Courage.
They're not gonna do a kaiju. And then they do a fucking kaiju battle.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Life gets rough sometimes.
Dude, it was so fucking crazy. And then that all goes down. The kaiju battle happens. And fucking, all right, folks, this is the very end. If you really don't want to be spoiled by the end of this,
you shouldn't have been here for the past hour.
That too.
The ending of this is completely like from left field, to be totally honest.
Oh, the cicada. It's not an actual cicada queen. It's instead
the mayor.
But it's not even the mayor.
Who is it, Taylor?
It's you hit a button because Velma figures it out but doesn't, and it's fucking Cats and LaQuack. That I will also remind you, Cats and LaQuack ran a successful election and were dutifully elected mayor.
Yeah.
Of nowhere.
Yeah.
They could have just kept running a successful election. They didn't have to run this scheme at all, but you know.
So they did it because they're like, creepy stuff happens in nowhere. Why does creepy stuff happen in nowhere? I bet we'll find out. We figured out that there's a dark matter.
It's because of us.
Dark matter meteor.
Yeah, that's the one thing at the end where I was like, does this explain all of Courage?
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, but at the same time,
but also Cats and LaQuack are there.
Yeah. So I mean,
it doesn't.
It doesn't explain animals that
Cats
can talk.
Is a cat.
Yeah.
And LaQuack is a duck.
Which the Mystery Inc. gang makes sure to point out when they go and grab Cat's face and like, this should come off.
This face off.
This is really
take his face off. And then
I want to take.
By the way, we forgot that Cat's just like calmly explains everything as opposed to running away.
Yeah, he doesn't leave.
Listen, man, that fucker's handled spiders of the horror degree. He's like, what are these kids gonna really do? Send me to jail? Nowhere. Jail's worthless.
This is also the part where they reveal that the helper, the mayor's assistants were both the general and the commander, or whatever,
and the lieutenant.
Yeah, the lieutenant, the commander and lieutenant.
And then they're arrested. But what the fuck? Holy shit! What are we gonna do with this? And now we have a dance party. The movie ends with a dance party.
Dance monkey.
Not a bad ending, though.
And so the world continues.
Yeah, like.
And here's the thing: all three of us idiots were like, "This is the greatest thing we've ever seen."
I'm crying, says Sheldon.
You did say that. You are.
It was so good. Like I was quiet for most of our actual watching because I was just like, "Is this gonna be good or is it gonna be good or is it gonna be bad?"
And then it was great.
It's
so fucking good.
It actually is good. Like once you get past the first couple parts that are like, all right, this animation's jarring. How did they get into this? It doesn't make any sense. After you get past all of that, it's perfect. Like at that first car chase scene where Eustace is pushed out of the fucking truck and a cicada jumps in.
Yeah.
I was in. I was like, all right, yeah, this is great. This is awesome. Perfect. He's trying to kill the Mystery people? Fucking about time. Someone should.
It was one of those moments of just like, I'm fully invested. I no longer care about animation. I just want to know. I gotta know. I gotta know where this goes now.
Right.
And it was so. I was so ready for this to be bad. I was so ready for this to be one of our deep cut movie nights of let's watch Shopping Mall.
Oh yeah. For those who don't know, we get drunk and watch really bad movies late at night.
Pretty much after you hear this recording.
After you boys hear the recording, we go do our own thing.
We go watch really bad movies, which may become something else later in the future because it should be.
Because Tim takes recordings of us without our permission.
I have not taken recording of Maximum Overdrive.
that was the last one we watched. But it's weird that he only said that one, huh, listener?
I don't remember the other ones because they're bad. I don't want to remember them.
A real human brain.
We did watch Neil Breen movies. I didn't record that either. I would not dare step on that.
Holy shit, folks! This is actually a quality time.
Can I?
If you somehow made it past the spoiler alerts, I'm gonna warn you again.
So, boys, I tried my best while we were talking to cut down the trivia so it would only be like 4 or 5 points.
Sure, you did, Tim. Give us all 27.
Tim, I don't even, dude. I'm actually looking at it, Sheldon. You have no idea how long list actually
there's
is.
a lot. I cut out a lot, especially the credits part. That's not needed.
There's so many because again, it's a there's so many references to both shows in this.
Yeah.
That it covers just a fucking heavy amount of
there's like 20 trivia facts. I cut it down to 6. Would you guys be willing to listen to them?
Yeah, I'll listen to your.
Sure.
And most of them are courage. Most of them are
Tim,
courage.
Hey, listener and Tim, we give you shit because it's funny, not because we don't want to hear your contribution.
No, I understand because I'm a reasonable human.
I gotta keep the bit going. So no, your shit's boring, Tim.
Keep going.
Get out of here.
No. So originally, this is called Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Obviously, series creator John R. Dilworth was not involved with this movie. Something that we did. I think we talked about at the very beginning.
Yeah.
We've covered it a few times.
But who was Marty Grabstein and Thea White. They both reprised their roles as Courage and Muriel Bag, while Jeff Bergman is the voice of Eustace Bag, taking over for Lion Wilson and Arthur Anderson, both of them passing away, respectively.
Both of them are deceased.
Yep. Chuck Montgomery also reprised his role as Lieutenant, while the General was voiced by Jeff Bennett.
Wouldn't have known. It sounded the same.
They were very close, yeah. Obviously, this is the last Courage thing with Thea White. She passed away soon after production was done.
Yes, she did.
Here comes the tears.
This is the 5th Scooby-Doo crossover, apparently. Although far from being their first collaboration in general, this film is the first Warner Brothers animation animated film that featured Cartoon Network characters and properties without the involvement of Cartoon Network Studios. So, Warner Brothers made this movie
super weird
without Cartoon Network involvement. Like, they just took the assets and the characters
and ran with it.
Yeah.
So Cartoon Network just signed off on it then.
Well, Warner owns Cartoon Network, right? So they can't say no.
Right.
It's like Adult Swim.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Adult Swim.
It's all Time Warner. You're right.
Yeah, well, it's Warner now. Time Warner doesn't exist anymore.
I don't care. It's always going to be Time Warner to me because that's how it
Taylor's
goes.
Old. As old as I am.
Going on to more. When Courage, Shaggy, and Scooby were discussing their fears, Courage made impersonations of one of Cat's spiders.
Oh, yeah.
He did, actually, yeah.
He did.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that one.
It's a good one. And I think this is the last one because I think it's the most worthwhile.
When trivia actually matters.
This is one of the few times both Muriel and Eustace briefly helped Courage, because Eustace did try to fight off an evil chair, and Muriel helps Courage defeat the evil Cicada Queen.
Yeah. But I need you to know he hit him with
the hat.
Chair with his hat.
Yeah, when they first enter the mayor's mansion, they're put into a room with 4 or 5 chairs that come to life.
Yeah, and that's how you know this shit is just gonna get wacky. They're
just like, things are gonna get worse from here.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just full of fucking references. You know, your Zoinks license plates, your silly skits.
I feel like 6 was enough. I don't think there's 20 facts on this trivia page.
Oh, I know.
Which is horrible. I don't think
some of them. My favorite one are the animation mistakes and technical glitches, which is unknown.
I didn't even look at those because I didn't want to see them.
It just says unknown. Just so you know.
Oh, you're right. It says none known. That's beautiful. Oh,
hey guys, if you were worried about mistakes, unknown.
Unknown. There were no mistakes. As he said, staring towards the camera.
It's so good. If this is the last bit of Courage content we get, even though Dilworth's not involved, I really liked it. I think it had the most spirit of Courage.
Yeah, since anything else.
Yeah, it was really good. It reminded me of
It reminded me of a time when I was happy.
Well, is that too? But do you remember the fucking? It was like a one-off Scooby-Doo Johnny Bravo crossover.
Oh.
Do you guys remember that at all?
That's one of the crossovers they talk about. One of the 5 or 6.
My glasses.
Yeah,
I can't be seen without my glasses.
I can't be seen without my glasses.
Johnny Bravo, he drops his glasses, and Velma drops her glasses.
It is very good, and I really do. I think that in the same vein that one was very funny and worked, this was very funny and worked, and I really do like it a lot. And I think if you, again, have not watched it up to this point, that's very silly, but you should 100% go watch this. It's so good.
we endorse this 100% because this was so many chuckles.
So good, dude.
We laughed at so many jokes. So many jokes were well placed. Like the writing is on
point. It's great.
It could have been a nostalgic mess, but instead they just let's put some off jokes in here.
This is an actual thing we're gonna work on.
Yeah, this will be an actual show. Like, it was really good somehow. But yeah.
Fuck.
So, boys,
I'm not rating it.
I was gonna ask.
Honestly, it is so good that I feel like I gotta give it.
Go watch it out of fuck you.
I gotta give it a fucking straight out of nowhere out of 5, because that rap song is enough to sell it for me. Go watch this shit. It's so good.
I will give it.
So good.
It is very good. I'll give it 5 cicada husks out of 5.
Oh.
I'm sticking with the go. I'm sticking with the go watch it. Fuck yourself out of 5.
Yeah. Well worth.
It is worth the price of admission.
Fee. Yeah.
Go buy a physical copy. Put it on your shelf so you can stare at it and enjoy it.
I wasn't going to buy a physical copy until we watched it, and now I think I will.
Yeah, it is worth it. Add it to your collection. Add it to just a shelf that you can go like, man, this is the last. I almost guarantee you this is the last Courage thing that we are going to get
for a while.
I want to believe, man.
I don't know. I think this is getting enough good press that I think we'll get something else. I don't think it'll be a new episode. I don't think it'll be anything else. It might be another crossover or something else. But I wouldn't know what it is. Like, it could be
I'll hope and dream.
A Samurai Jack crossover, which would be super fucking weird.
This was the perfect. I had my doubts, but this was the perfect fucking venue for a crossover. Both dog mystery fucking solvers. It was so funny. It's so good.
Yeah, this is probably the best that could have happened. I don't know. Like, going into this, I thought for sure this was going to be a 0.
I was ready for a 0.
I was ready to give up.
I was ready to have one of our really bad movie nights early in the day.
Yeah.
Just we usually watch them at midnight.
I was like, and you know what? Enough time has passed.
It's good. Yeah. It's really good. I don't know how.
I've had enough drinks. It doesn't matter how bad it is, really.
Oh, yeah. We can watch something in 30 minutes. Can we get Maximum Overdrive too?
Give us 30 minutes and we can
There is no Maximum Overdrive too, but if there was, I'd show it to you.
No, it'll be what's that weird one?
Xanadu 2?
Where they monsters underneath the bed.
Monsters Inc? Let's do it.
No. You know the one I'm talking about.
I do. I don't want to talk about
it. Anyway, folks, go watch it. It's great. Goodbye.
Bye. It was good.
Goodbye, everyone.
That was the Liquid Courage podcast, an in-depth look at every episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Music was provided by Visionless. You can find them at www.soundcloud.com/VISIONLESS. L3SS. We do not own the rights to Courage the Cowardly Dog. Until next time, have a wonderful night.